Chesapeake with one of their competitors or with a group of their competitors in the oil and gas industry. Like Williams, for instance, is another competitor. In Oklahoma, they're headquartered. So they're both oil and gas companies headquartered in Oklahoma. They're good comparisons. They are cross-sectional. So you would be looking at two ratios. Let's call it the current ratio is the first one we're gonna talk about. Two different companies, same one ratio at the same time. Does that make sense to everybody? That's cross-sectional. Now when you get into it more, we won't do it here, but our upper level students who are taking like an investments class, they'll do what they call panel data. And panel data means you're doing both cross-sectional and time series at once. So you're basically graphing both Williams as well as Chesapeake over time and comparing the two graphs together. That would be considered a panel. All right, make sense to everyone? Okay, so let's start off here. First one, current ratio. Current ratio is probably one of the most common liquidity ratios. How do you calculate it? You take your current assets, divide it by your current liabilities. Bingo, easy. All right, both of those items come off the balance sheet. You can find them easily. Current assets are cash plus accounts receivable plus inventory, and in our balance sheet said other current assets. We'd be adding the three together to get current assets. Fortunately, it's already added for us on our balance sheet. All we have to do is pick off one number. Second number is the current liabilities. It's accounts payable, notes payable, and other, in our case, other current liabilities. We add the three together, we get current liabilities. That makes sense to everyone? We're picking them off the balance sheet. Current assets were $22.56. The current liabilities were $1,995. We get a ratio, it's 1.13. All right, so let me write this down. Oops, staying away from that bad karma. Current ratio is current assets over current liabilities. And we get a number 1.13. I like to look at it as 1.13 to 1. All right, does that change it at all? And that just tells me that for every $1 of current liabilities, I've got $1.13 worth of current assets. Hopefully. Not quite though. What if all those current liabilities, which there are 1995 of them, what if they're all due tomorrow? Yet all of our current assets are all 1 year to maturity. We've got an issue there, right, on timing. Our current ratio could look great because she said, hey, we're in the clear. Great, we've got more current assets than we have current liabilities, but boy, the timing is off. Does that make sense to everyone? Yes. Hence, we need to have probably more info, right? This is one, on the surface, hey, we're probably in the clear, but when you start digging into it, maybe we aren't. I'm not positive. We have, it looks like 13% more current assets than we do current liabilities. So I would say that's a good sign, but I'm not positive about it because I don't know, when you say current, you're talking about a year, and a year is a long time, right? And so the timing of the obligations that we owe could be an issue for us, right? Second, what is a good number? Is this high, low? Oh, is this a high number? Is this a low number? I heard high, I heard low, I heard I don't know, and I am with her. I don't know. I don't know. That's a good answer, I don't know. And why? It's all relative. It's all relative, right? So I'm famous for saying that over and over again, all relative. So in a time series analysis, we would like to see this number rising, which means that we're becoming more liquid. But at the same time as we're becoming more liquid, what's happening to our return? Yeah, we're falling. In other words, the more liquid we are, the more opportunities we're giving up for return. So liquidity is a tricky thing where there's this balance. You don't want to be too liquid, because if you're too liquid, then you're giving up return. But if you're not liquid enough, you can't pay your bills. So this is a balancing act, and it is going to be different across industries, right? It's going to be different even if you're looking at the quality of your CFO. You've got a brand new CFO who doesn't know much at all. He's got lots of learning to do. Do you think he would like to be running a little bit higher current ratio than a seasoned CFO that has got this job under control?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He wants to look at it.
Yeah, you might be in the same industry, it's two different, two firms in the same industry with the same sort of systemic issues that occur in that industry, same economy, same issues that show up. And a new CFO might be needing more liquidity just because the job has not been conquered yet.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? And he's unsure, so he needs to keep more cash around. You might be in two different industries completely. Two firms in two different industries. Let's take a tech firm versus Entergy. So let's compare Apple to Entergy. Tell me what you think about those two.
You don't need an iPod, but you need energy.
Yes. I agree. So, when you're talking about, let me put this in terms of forecasting earnings, forecasting revenues, which one do you think is easier to forecast our revenues for?
Entergy.
Entergy, much easier.